It's Thursday the 2nd of April and it's time for our second maths lesson on telling the time. If there's any adults here today, please can you help out today with the tasks, because it is a bit more complicated for me to do it through PowerPoint and through video than it will be for you to show the children how the clock moves when you're using a real clock. Feel free to use the website that's linked there, or a real clock would be preferable, or watch if you've got one so you can really, really see it, or use both. I've also got on the website a make your own clock that you could use, and you could cut out and colour and use if you want, if that helps too. So start today by revising old clock with a real clock, or the link that's there for that website, and we'll get on with learning today. Okay, there's two people in bed, a girl's in her bedroom asleep and a boy's in his bedroom asleep. I think they've just gone to bed because the moon's outside. What do you notice about the clocks on their walls? How are they different and how are they the same? Have a think. Well, I see that the girl has gone to bed at 9 o'clock because the small hand's on the 9 and the big hand's on the 12. The boy, he has a different clock, hasn't he? His big hand, his minute hand, is on the 6, right down at the bottom there. And his small hand, the hour hand, is between the 9 and the 10. Not quite on either of them. I wonder what that means. Well, Emma, the girl, like we said, she's got her minute hand pointing to 12, and she's got her small hand pointing to 9. So that means it's 9 o'clock. Ravi, however, has a different thing on his clock. His minute hand is pointing to the 6, which is right in the middle, down at the bottom. That and his small hand is between the 9 and the 10. That means he's gone to bed at 9:30. And that's what we're going to learn about today, Year 1. So here is my whole clock face. I know it's my whole clock face because I've got all of it. So I know I've got all of it, so it's my whole clock face. I can see the whole thing, can't I? Now, this is my clock face in two equal parts. Half of it's white with numbers, and half of it's blue with no numbers. One equal part, two equal parts. There's two equal parts there. I know they're equal because equal is the same amount. But what does it mean if I have my blue part here, my one of two equal parts? How much do I have? I haven't got all of it. I haven't got the whole thing. Have I got a quarter of it? No. Have I got a third of it? No. I've got a half, because a half is one of two equal parts. I know that from my fractions learning I did a few weeks ago, before we all went home, before all this stuff happened. So a half is one of two equal parts, and that line, that red line down the middle of my clock, shows two equal parts. So that blue part, it's one half, isn't it? And that white part, well, that's another half too. Go have a look at a clock. What way does the minute hand move around? Does it move to the left and go all the way around the clock, or does it move to the right and go all the way around the clock? I think you'll find it goes all the way around to the right, doesn't it? And we call that clockwise. What do we call it? I wonder if you can turn clockwise. I wonder if you can turn your hands clockwise, or you can turn your whole body clockwise. Have a go at moving clockwise. Well, when the big hand moves clockwise, it goes from the 12, it starts on the 12 and it goes all the way round. Really hard to show this, so hopefully you've got a different way of seeing it with an actual clock. And when it gets halfway down, we say it's half past. We know that when it's at the top and it's on the o'clock, it's on the 12, we say it's o'clock. Well, when it moves all the way round down to the bottom, we say it's half past. That's because that hand has moved not the whole way around to a different o'clock, to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. It's only moved half of the whole way around, hasn't it? And then it moves around and we say it's half past. And then it moves around another half to get back to o'clock again. Let's do it again. Maybe you can show it on your clock as I do it. So I'm starting on the 12. I'm going all the way around to the bottom, to that 6 that's directly below. That means it's half past. What is it? And then it's going to go all the way back round again, back up to the o'clock, and it's o'clock again. One more time, starting on the 12, going around and round and round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we say at 6? Half past. And then go all the way, keep on going, back up to the o'clock. It's on the 12, we say it's o'clock. So where is the big hand now? It's on the 6, and I've just learned that means it's half past. It's moved, it's gone, started at the 12, it's gone all the way around. It's on the half past. Where's the small hand? Well, my small hand's on the, it's between two numbers. It's between the 1 and the 2. Well, try and do it on your clock. Start at the 1 o'clock, put the big hand on the 12, and the small hand on the 1. Hopefully you've got a real clock. And move that big hand all the way around down to half past. Did your clock do the same thing? Did your small hand move? Well, we say this is half past 1 because we know it started at o'clock, at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and it went around halfway. It didn't make it the whole way round to 2 o'clock. It stopped at half past. So what time is it now? It's half past 1. And it will move up to be 2 o'clock later. But for now, it's half past 1. It's not quite 2 o'clock yet, is it? Not made it to 2 o'clock yet. Let's draw that on there. Not made it to 2 o'clock yet, but it's gone past the 1 and it's gone to half. It's gone halfway through. It's half past 1. Now, this one, what's this time? What time is this clock showing? Well, the small hand is between the 11 and the 12, and the big hand is on the half past. It's half past. Is it half past 11, or is it half past 12, or is it half past 10? Well, it's obviously started at the 11 o'clock, and it's gone round to the half past. Hopefully you're showing this on a real clock as well. It must be half past 11. Not 12 o'clock yet. The big hand is pointing to the 6, which means it's half past. The little hand is pointing between the 11 and the 12, so it's half past 11. And this is what you've got to think every single time, year 1. Where's the big hand and where's the small hand? What time is this clock showing? Well, the big hand's on the half past. The small hand is between the 3 and the 4, so it's half past 3. It's not quite 4 o'clock yet, is it? It's not 4 o'clock yet. It's halfway through, but it's not quite 4 o'clock yet, is it? It's there. So it would be going around this way, wouldn't it? But it's not 4 o'clock yet. It will be in another half an hour, but not yet. So it's half past 3. Okay, give this a go now then. You can see all these different clocks. Look where the big hand is, look where the small hand is. I'll give you a clue, they're all half pasts. But what are they half pasts? What is the small hand between? Between two numbers, and then you say the smaller number. Pause the video and give it a go. Right, so the first one is half past 5, isn't it? Because the big hand is on the 6, that means it's half past, and the small hand is between the 5 and the 6. Not 6 o'clock yet, it's half past 5. The next one that's blank, it's the big hand's on the 6, the small hand is between the 8 and the 9. It's half past 8, not 9 o'clock yet. And the next one, not 11 o'clock yet, is it? It's between the 10 and the 11. It's half past 10. Okay, it's time for task 1. So just like you've just done, and just like our task from yesterday, write the times for all the clocks. You don't need to copy the clocks, it's not necessary. Okay, you can just write the letter A and then put what time it is on the clock next to the letter A. When you finish that, show an adult and see if you've got it right. Okay, well done, year 1. It's time for task 2. So this is our reasoning task. This is our thinking task. Here's Tommy. Say hi, Tommy. And Tommy's made a bit of a mistake. He thinks it's 6 past 1. What? Why has he made that mistake? What has he done wrong? Have a think, talk about it, and write down what has he done wrong. So Tommy has got mixed up, hasn't he? His long hand, his big hand is on the 6, which means it's half past. Not 6 past, it's half past. But the small hand is between the 1 and the 2, isn't it? So it started at that 1 o'clock and it's gone all the way around to that 1/2 past. So it's actually 1/2 past. So let's have a go at our last task for today. Let's read these instructions and draw the hands on the clock. So you could try and draw the clock, or you could use a real clock, or you could print off or make your own clock. There's one on our class page if you want some help with that. Or just have a go. The minute hand is pointing at the 6. The hour hand is halfway between 10 and 11. What time is it? So we need to draw that minute hand and that hour hand and work out what time it is. I'll have a go in a minute, but you give it a go first. Have a pause and think. Right, so first of all, the minute hand is pointing at the 6. I need to draw my minute hand. So, my minute hand, is it a long one or a short one? No, it's the big one, it's the short one. Long one. So, my minute hand is pointing at the 6. Okay. What about my smaller hand, my short hand, my hour hand? It's halfway between 10 and 11. Between 10 and 11 is up here, isn't it? Oh no, that's between 11 and 12. It's over here. Oh no, that's between 9 and 10. Between 10 and 11, there's 10, there's 11 in between them. So I need to make a short hand going that way. Okay, so what time is it? Well, it's 1/2 past because that's on the 6. It's 1/2 past 10. 1/2 past 10. So hopefully you've written 1/2 past 10. Hopefully your clock looks much more like this one and much less like that one. Mine's a bit rubbish. Okay, well done, year 1. That's it. To finish off, you can watch this video. It's a great song about telling the time and hopefully it'll clear up some misconceptions, any problems you've got. It is quite hard telling the time and you've got loads of time to learn it. You can practice it every single day until you get it right. There's no rush with this whatsoever. As for Friday's class, I have put a bunch of stuff about time and old log and 1/2 past on our year 1 class page. So for tomorrow's lesson, please check that out and keep practicing it. Easter holiday is a perfect time to keep practicing the time. If you'd like to teach your child how to fully tell the time, then this is a great opportunity to do so. I would do 1/4 past, 1/4 to next, and then the 10s and the 20s, followed by the 5s. 5 to 5 past, and split up that clock into past and to. So they see that when a long hand is on the right hand side, it's past, and it's on the left hand side of the clock, it's to. That would be the next progression, which is taught in year 2 and in year 3. So but if you want to get a jump ahead of the curve, it's a really good thing, really useful skill. And then digital times and being able to read the bus timetables and stuff like that, it's really, really useful. This is it now, I think. This is the end of our term 4. It's going to be 2 weeks of holiday time now. A couple of parents have asked for some extra phonicky sheets and math sheets, which I've sent them because they're a bit worried about their child transitioning between being at home, not doing any work, to in 2 weeks' time having to go back to work again. But I'd suggest have a good conversation with your children about it. This is holiday time, it's not school time, but when we go back, we are going to have to have school at home again. The weird transition, I know. Hopefully, you never know, it might all be over in 2 weeks' time. We might come back to school like normal. I really wish that's the case. But if not, I'll be here again with resources and things and teaching online. And we can talk about lots of different things like doing story time, video, or doing a group chat all at one time once a week or something like that. I hope you all have a lovely holiday. It's going to be a funny one because there's no days out or no holidays. But keep safe, look after yourselves, keep washing your hands, and I hope you all have a wonderful time.